Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Appy Hour at the Delray Beach Public Library. My name is Craig Santiago, and today we'll be talking about GPS for social distancing, which includes Uber Eats, Delivery Dudes, Grub Hub, and Instacart. So we're looking at apps today that you can use to social distance yourself from local restaurants, but still you are able to get the food that you want delivered to your door safely. And then this also helps out local businesses as well that may be hurting during this time. The whole idea of getting food delivered is not new. It's been around for some time. But the idea of it is that you can order food, get it delivered through any of the mobile apps or websites that I'll be discussing in this presentation. And then it connects with another restaurant in the local area near you. And different apps do show different restaurants depending on if they participate with that certain app. So you won't see the same restaurant in all the different apps. Some of the bigger ones you might see, like Burger King or McDonald's, but some of the local chains or local restaurants you might not see in every different app. There is no exchange of money in hand. It's all done through credit card, debit card transactions. And the food is sent right to your door, which is great, so that you don't have to have any contact with the outside world, so that we can help lower the risk of the spread of the virus. And then you can go ahead and tip the driver within the app before or after that delivery has been made, which is great. So the first app we'll be talking about is Uber Eats, which is similar to Uber. It's obviously owned by the same company. So instead of using the app to drive around somewhere, it's using the driver to go pick up food for you. So if you already do have an Uber account, when you log in with Uber Eats after you download the app, you'll want to use the same credentials. If you don't have an Uber account, that's fine. You can create your own Uber Eats account, and then at some point, if you do create an Uber account, then you should be able to link both accounts so that they know who you are. So it's pretty simple like that. So if you don't have an account, when you download the app, it's going to ask your phone number. As long as you have a text-enabled phone, you can put that in there, because from there it'll send a code to your phone, and then you can create your account with a username, password, and all of that, and then even put in your delivery address. So from the adding of your delivery address, you can also let the GPS on your phone use your current location. Sometimes it's accurate, most of the times it is, but for me, I usually like to put in the exact address because I live in an apartment complex and it doesn't know exactly which building I'm in or which specific unit I'm in, so I go ahead and add that in there manually. When you go for an order, you can set your order for ASAP, which most often times that's how it is. I mean, when you're using it is when you're hungry, so you want to get your food soon. Or if not, if it's like in the morning and you're scheduling a delivery for lunchtime at work or whatever, you can go ahead and do that and set up a time for later. And then the estimated delivery wait times are listed at each of the restaurants that are listed on the app, because they will appear after you put in your delivery address. And you can also see the delivery fees. Right now, during the coronavirus time, a lot of apps are waiving the delivery fees just to encourage more people to use the app and to shop local. And then also it shows the ratings too as well. So anything, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars are pretty good. So you can search restaurants. Not all restaurants are on here, and not all the same restaurants are in the same apps that I'll be talking about today. So just be aware of that. So if you don't see anything you like in one app, go ahead, open up another one, and see if that one app that you want is in there, or the one restaurant is in there. Then you can go ahead and search through their menu. You can place and finalize your order there. So you can add your special instructions. If you can't eat something or you're allergic to something, you just don't like something like onions, go ahead and put that in there when you are selecting an item of food. And then you can also, towards the end, put in delivery notes about where you want your order to be dropped off. So to specify which type of apartment you're in, or if it's dark and you want to make sure they go to the right house. I mean, obviously they will know what house number it is, but if there's any kind of identifier, like there's a flag out, there's a lamppost, something like that, that'll help the driver identify your exact house. So once you have your order going, like I said before, you can set your special instructions about what kind of things you want added or taken away from your meal. Also, as well as, how many of one item that you want. If you want a couple burritos, like the example or whatnot, you can add that in there. After that, this is what it looks like for the delivery note for where you want your food to be delivered so that they know where to go and whatnot. This kind of gives you a summary of the estimated delivery time as well as the fact that you chose the ASAP option. And then below it will tell you the total amount of how much it's going to cost. And then finally, once you place your order, the good thing about using this, you can track your order. And a lot of apps do use this tracking method, which is great. So if you are an Uber rider, this might look familiar to you. Same thing with an Uber driver. It'll track when the food is being picked up, when it's being prepared and all that, and also when it's on its way. So similar, it'll track the pathway of your driver, so that way you can be better prepared when it's there at your house, so you know that they're coming with your food. The good thing about this as well is you'll be able to have contact with the driver through texting and or through phone. So if by chance they do get lost, or if you're seeing them on the map, they're going around in circles, you can give them a text or a call to help them out, especially if you're like maybe in the city area or a rural area that people don't know exactly how to get around. Having that connection with the driver helps as well. And as this is a cashless app, as with the other ones that I'll be discussing about, you can tip your driver through the app after delivery by using your credit or debit card that's on file. You can also rate the service as well, rate the restaurant. So that's always good to know, good feedback for the restaurant. And now we'll be talking about Delivery Dudes. What's special about this app is that it's local to South Florida, created by some people here in Delray, which is great, so supporting local. Again, with this app, you can download it for free in your App Store or Google Play Store, or you can go ahead and go use the desktop version of it. So you go ahead and create an account, again, using your email address and password. And then from there, you'll want to set up your delivery address so that they know where to send your food. And then you can also use the GPS on your phone to set the location, but sometimes that might not always work greatly. So sometimes it's easier to manually put in your location. And so from there, using that location, it's going to pop up different restaurants that participate with the service of Delivery Dudes. You can even search by cuisine as well. So if you're looking for Italian or Greek or barbecue or something like that, you'll be able to find something within the app that way. From there, you place and finalize your order, and then from there, I will talk about the different details of going into the ordering process. When you create an account, there'll be a sign up button on the app. So go ahead and tap that, and then you'll want to fill in your email address. You'll want to create a password to that, so don't forget that. It could help to write that down just in case you ever lose it. But what's good about these things, they usually save everything in the app, so you don't have to really remember it. Plus, there's always the recovery option for your password, which more often than not is probably easier than trying to get your password back from a Gmail account, so to speak. Sometimes that is a process, but getting it from one of these apps is a lot easier. So after that, you'll add your delivery address. Most of the time, it's going to probably ask you to find your phone that you're using to access your location. My preference is that first option only when using the app, because I don't like things tracking me when I'm not using it. Plus, I think it also uses some of your battery and data or whatnot on your phone. So only while using the app is my preferred method. It'll be up to you how you want to set that up. After that, you'll be asked your credit or debit card number, because like I said before, this is all cashless, so you don't tip them in hand, you just tip them through the app using your credit or debit card that's on file. Just like with Uber Eats, you can add some customization to your order and also to the delivery as well. So as you can see in the screenshot, you can choose how much you want of one item. You can choose instructions, whether you want more of like ketchup or no pickles, or they might even ask you how well done you want your steak or your burger if you're ordering something like that. So that's pretty cool. So it's just like as if you were in the restaurant yourself and you don't want a certain ingredient, or you're allergic to a certain ingredient, then you can put that in there, and that helps with that. So, but also with that, make sure when you do get your order that you double check that that is how it happens, because just like in a restaurant, they do make mistakes, and they're pretty good at alleviating those issues. So just make sure that you are getting what you're getting. And then also, once you place before you place your order, you can add additional notes to how you want it delivered. If there's a certain door you want them to use, or if your doorbell's not working, you want them to knock, or if you just want them to just place it at the door so you don't have any contact with the driver, there's that option as well. I also remember one time recently when I ordered through one of these apps that I didn't want any contact with the driver, but I forgot to mention that in the app. But the good thing is the driver was wearing gloves, she had a mask on and everything like that, so there was minimal contact. I had hand sanitizer and all of that, so there was minimal contact with the driver, and that helped with any kind of concerns I had with contracting any kind of virus or any kind of disease like that. So once you place your order, you're pretty much good to go. It's great that you can track your delivery, sort of like you would in any other these apps that we'll be talking about today. You check the status of the order and an estimated delivery time, so you know when it's coming. Most often, you'll be able to see beforehand, before you choose a restaurant, it'll give you an estimated time of delivery. It can be obviously busy during peak times, like dinner and lunch time, or even late night time sometimes as well. So you can check the status of your order, and you can even have your driver come up to your door, or they may even call your phone to say that they're here, just in case maybe if you live in a complex that it might not be easily recognizable from the outside where you actually live. So they might call you to make sure that they are delivering to the right address. And so, like I said, you can also add a tip directly through the app without having to deal with handing out cash. Grub Hub is another one of these amazing food delivery service apps that you can also use on your desktop as well. You might see them around, as you see in this picture. They have little funny backpacks, those little square backpacks, red backpacks that say Grub Hub on it. So it's another great app that you can use. Similar in setup than the other apps where you create an account. You can set your delivery address manually, or let your GPS of your phone put it in, and then you can go ahead and search a specific restaurant if you want. That's what I usually do first. If I'm in the mood for a certain cuisine, I will put that in there. Or if I don't know exactly what I want right away, then I might choose based on the delivery fee of the app, or I'm sorry, the restaurant, or even the rating of the restaurant too as well. And ratings are like 4 stars or above, or 4.5 stars or above or something like that. But in any case, that's how I go ahead and browse some of the restaurants that I want. And then from there, I go ahead and choose my order that I want. So similar to the other previous apps, you want to add in your delivery address. And like I said, I usually do the only when using the app, so I don't have the location searching on my phone 24/7 with the app. I usually just do it when I'm using it, which makes sense. You can search local restaurants, and like I said, I prefer using the local restaurants anyway over the chains, just because it puts back money into our local economy, which me personally is great. Some restaurants do have a minimum order amount or delivery fee, so you can't order anything. You can't just order one drink or one appetizer unless it's a certain amount, like $10 or $15, which makes sense because they want to, make it worth their while and all that kind of stuff. But definitely something to look at. There's also delivery fees. Now I've seen in certain apps during this time of the virus that you don't have to pay the delivery fee. They usually waive that, or they're waiving that right now. So there's a $0 delivery fee, which is great. But when there is one, it can range from $2, $3, $4, something like that. I don't think I've seen anything higher than that. But that's just a delivery fee service, and that doesn't go towards the driver. I know a lot of times I've seen that within the app they mention, this does not go towards the driver as far as the tip goes. The delivery fee isn't a tip; it's just part of the service through the app and through the restaurant, their partnership. So you want to make sure if you do want to tip the driver that you don't consider the delivery fee as the tip. So after that, you'll build your order, select the different items in the menu that you want, how many you want, and how you want to customize. And then obviously, like I said, don't forget to tip your driver for the tip, and 100% of the tips go right to the driver. So that's helpful. You'll need your credit or debit card in order to finalize the order. Like similar apps, there's no cash handling with this. As you'll see with Grub Hub, like similar apps, you can request special delivery instructions as far as where you want the food to be left, if it's at the side door, front door, something like that. Or you can request certain food instructions, like if you can't eat something, allergic to something, like you can't eat mustard, and no mustard or extra ketchup, things like that. Within reason, they can usually apply for go with that instruction. Think of it as if you were at the restaurant yourself. What kind of things would you ask if you want to modify your food? Just don't go crazy, I guess, maybe with some of your special instructions. And then you can also track your order and see how long it'll take for your order to get there. It can take about 40 minutes sometimes. It just depends on peak times, how many drivers they have out there, and if it's during a rush or whatnot, especially maybe even during the times where restaurants are open and Grub Hub's open at the same time. During dinner, if the restaurant's busy, it might take a little bit longer too as well. But it does tell you in the app how long it would take, so that's good to know. Here's another app that's different than the other previous apps. I mean, it's similar that you can download the free app in your Apple Store or Google Play Store, or even look it up on the desktop version. But it's different in that it's not really searching restaurants, it's searching grocery stores, so like Publix or Target or Costco, even some wine stores, which is pretty cool. So you have people that you might have seen in the stores as well with the green Instacart shirts shopping for people. So it's almost like a personal shopper in a way, this service. So it's definitely great to use if you can't get out to the stores. I know my grandmother back home, she uses this a lot. She's not very mobile, so she does have an Instacart account, and she has someone go and pick up her groceries. I think even medicine too. I'm not entirely sure on that, but it definitely helps her so that she can do the groceries in a certain way, in a new way, which is great for her. So you'll want to create an account like you would the other ones, with your email address, a password, set up your delivery address, because then that way you can see participating businesses that will be in the app there. You can then create your cart like you would any kind of like grocery list. You might want to have that handy before you go ahead and put your cart together, so you know what you'll need. And it also kind of helps sometimes with impulse buying. I know I do that sometimes, and I'm in the grocery store, and if I don't have a list, I kind of add things to my cart that I really don't need to. So this might alleviate the part of impulse buying. So once you have your account set up, and your delivery address added there as well, you'll be able to see the grocery stores that participate in Instacart, and it just depends on the area that you're in. So for here, you get your Publix, your Target, Aldi as well. I noticed that Total Wine is on there is great. So if any of you need some wine during these times, and if they're still open and not shut down, you'll be able to get your wine through that way as well. Also, businesses do offer delivery or pickup or even both. They'll see, if you can see on the graphic to the side there, under Publix, it does say that there's delivery and pickup available, but for Costco, just below that, it says only delivery is available. So just be aware of that before you go ahead and place an order, that if it's just delivery and then you go to pick it up and they are at your house, there's some kind of miscommunication there. So just know that when you go ahead and choose a business, that you know whether they're delivery or pickup, and also what best suits your needs. Another thing I want to mention about Instacart, which I'm hoping it's been brought up in the news and whatnot when this first launched, is that items most likely are priced higher on the app than in the store. This just covers the cost of the Instacart service. So just be aware of that sure, it's probably cheaper in the store to go to get it yourself, but you're paying for the convenience, you're paying for the service for that. So just be aware that you might see something higher than what you normally would. So in creating your first order, you have your shopping list, and then you have your grocery store that you chose. You can go through their items and go ahead and pick what you want to add to your cart. I've noticed sometimes when I go and click on an item, it might say that there's low in stock of an item to choose a similar item. So you can always do that as well. They'll suggest something different in case that item is not there. And while your shopper is shopping, they have the capability of messaging you in case something is out that you didn't realize was going to be out. Also, another thing is I've read online that you can't really be picky about the produce that you receive. I'm sure the Instacart shoppers are able to pick out some good produce, but there's always that drawback to not being able to do it yourself in case there's a certain way you want your produce. So you have your order going. There's a service fee depending on how much your total order is, so just be aware of that in the grand scheme of things. Towards the end, don't forget to tip your driver if it's the delivery option that you chose. Like I said, with other apps, 100% of the tips go to the driver. And then the grocery store orders can take up to 2 hours depending on the size of the order, the demand, and other factors. However, during this time, I have noticed that it takes not just a couple hours, it could also take a couple of days, just because of the increased demand on the service, on the shopping industry. So if you can plan ahead with your order, that's great. If not, then you might have to go to the store yourself or send someone to the store. But that is something I noticed when I was going through this presentation, that a delivery order might take a little bit to get. The last part of Instacart is that there's an express membership plan where you can get unlimited free delivery on orders $35 or more. And you can also avoid higher fees during any kind of peak delivery hours. I think I read somewhere on the plans are like $100 a year, or maybe like $10 a month, or something of that sort. and it's online. You can look to see the exact amount for this membership plan. So depending on how often you shop, it could be worth the investment. Um, and then if you do choose the pickup only option, when the order is ready, you'll get an in-app alert where you can chat with the driver, as you can see with the image on the right-hand side of the screen. Then they can chat to let them know when they're on their way to the store, let them know what kind of car you have, license plate number, things like that, so that they can identify you when they go ahead and give you your order. So that's pretty handy as well. So that's Instacart. That's getting your groceries in a more convenient way. And to just sum it up, we talked about Uber Eats today, Delivery Dudes, Grub Hub, and Instacart. So all these are free in the App Store or Google Play Store. You can also go online to their website as well to sign up. So go ahead, if you're hungry right now, like I am, go ahead and download one of these apps and get it started and get your food delivered today. Thank you for listening.